I just do me, but they say I'm too much. Chosen one, I don't ever get too far. Woo. And my mama said I'm special. If I don't trust you, shoot your metro. Future looking bright, nigga, got that glow. Professor X, nigga, all the gifts I show. My life like a movie shot off the hit show. Me and blessed hands make a bitch get low. James Willis, DJ CEO. Dave hit record, now we on beast mode. Let's go.
What's going on, y'all? We back. Sorry about that. We had technical difficulties. Yeah. Appreciate y'all for watching. We back though. Leave a comment. We're gonna talk about the Passport Boys tonight. We got the open discussion.
Hey, look, just for clarity, we not the Passport Boys. We not the Passport Boys.
No, we ain't. But
hey, when I seen you put the title up there, I was like, oh, he about to play. It's like we on some fly shit. All right, big man. I thought, I'm about to go on vacation in a week or so. Like, I thought like maybe you ain't know that shit ain't need a passport for Puerto Rico.
Yeah, but you know what? Some of these guys ain't that smart. They so thirsty to go. They probably don't know Puerto Rico part of the United States.
Yeah, you don't need no passport for that.
Yeah, y'all do know that, right? Hawaii, Puerto Rico.
The more you know.
Okay, so if they didn't know now. You know now, right? You do know that. Okay. So y'all can hear us pretty good. Leave a comment. Sorry about the last video, but check this out. Tonight is an open discussion. Anybody can join the live. You're watching the show. I just commented the StreamYard link, the one in this video. Hit that button. Charlie Kimbrough, my guy. Me and you was just talking. My guy. Hey, Charlie, if you want to come in on the live, hit that StreamYard link, the one right there. Hit that link, follow the instructions. I will bring you on the screen tonight because I know you was ready for this subject. And I put it on TikTok. We talked a lot about it on Sunday with our special guest, according to Iverson. Check her out. And I said, you know what? We got to do a full podcast. These passport guys going crazy right now online.
Well, like maybe let me know exactly what these passport guys are like. I don't really know.
Well, this what it is. This the thing. You got all these black guys, mostly black guys, talking about they can't find black American women here who are cooperative or submissive, so they going to another country to find a woman. Now, this is the thing. There's nothing wrong with going to find love, right? But y'all looking for women just to be submissive, right? And in today's world, it's not set up for women just to be fully submissive to you unless you can fully take care of her. I'm going to be honest. A woman is not going to fully submit to you as a man unless you can fully take care of everything. Emotionally, security, and financially. If you can't do those three things for her, she's not going to submit to you. Now, in America, we have this thing called freedom, which means you're free to do what you want, when you want, how you want. In the other countries, they don't have the same freedom. So those women have to be submissive because in some of those countries, if they're not, they will be disciplined for not being submissive in some of those countries. So that's why these guys are going to other countries. Ain't no different from the mail order bride back in the day. It's the same thing. Let's be honest. Let's be real.
But look, now
they're going to buy some pussy and bring it back over and wipe her up because that's all they doing.
Real quick. The three things you said that you got to do for them to be submissive. What is it? What was it? You said
for a woman to be submit to you, you have to be able to fully be able to take care of her emotionally, fully. Security, she has to feel safe with you and financially.
You don't gotta leave America for that. If you could supply those three things.
No, but they're saying it's easier on overseas because they're having a hard time dealing with black women on a daily basis. Which I understand that because that's all I've mostly dealt with. And they go to these other countries where women didn't go through slavery. Women didn't go through the same shit our women and men went through over here, so they are going to be easier to deal with. But my thing is this. Why don't we actually try to take care of the issues we have here so we can have our women rather than go somewhere else and just leave our women to go to other races, which is nothing wrong. But if it's that much of a problem, why don't we fix our own problem before we go somewhere else? You ever heard the thing, always take care of home first?
Right.
Why don't we try to take care of home before we go run somewhere else? That's
I don't know. See, I don't know. To me, I think my reality might be a little different because I don't know niggas that's like hey, let's go hop a flight, go find a wife. Like that sound like so you got some money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you got the money to be like, I'm about to go grab me a wife. Matter of fact, okay, I could think of a neighbor I just had. He actually had a wife from I think Russia or something. She came over. They ended up moving the shaker and shit. So I guess he had a couple dollars. I ain't know he had a couple dollars because why the fuck he was my neighbor. But I think different traditions, different customs, different ethnicities, women's subservient roles, kind of like what you were saying, they roles is a little different.
Right.
Whereas here, the woman that we seeing on TV nowadays, and more so as time is passing, is independent, go getter. I can do what a man can do. Hell, some of them identifying as men now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's becoming a thing. Whereas in other countries, it's more like they got clearer cut roles. Like women do this, men do this, and maybe that's a Stone Age way of thinking to some people. But I mean, ultimately, if I'm gonna be the breadwinner, that's what I want. And I don't know, man. I'm not from the school of thought of I need to go to another country to find a wife. I don't think I need that. I can't imagine what would give someone that impression, like that's what you need to do, as opposed to I just want this. Or I just so happen to be over here and got that. Now the mail order bride, I can see that. Like, man, I ain't got no game. I don't really got nothing I want to try to do.
Yeah.
I'm just about to buy me a bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's different though. I understand that. I'm not for that either, but I get it. Like, hey, I ain't got the time. I want something pretty to be at the house. I'm just about to buy you. Huh? How much you cost?
But let's be real. In a lot of cases, in a lot of these relationships, people dating marriages, most women will tell you, you can't afford me. So, what women tell you, if you don't have this, you're not even going to get my time of day. So it's kind of the same thing. Over here, it's just you gotta have more. Over there, you kind of have. If you're going over there, you don't have to be a rich guy.
If
you can be an average Joe and just be a decent person.
If you go in to get her, you gotta have the means to go get her.
But you gotta think the way they live in some of them other countries. If they came in here, they be like, "Ooh, this is luxurious." To us, it's regular shit.
You talking about the mud hut?
Yeah.
I just went and snatched this bitch out of mud hut.
American women are entitled. Yeah, they are. They are. But I feel like all women are entitled. And the thing is, you go into these other countries to get these women. The only issue is when you bring them over here, you have to hide them.
Why?
I'm gonna tell you why. If they get a group of female friends, you know what happens? They start Americanizing them women.
Nah, man.
They start telling them, no, you ain't gotta listen to him. You ain't got to do that. You ain't gotta listen to everything he say. He trying to control you. You know how our women talk. You know how they talk. My guy.
What's up?
Hey, what's happening, man?
What's happening?
Brother, hey, I'm about to post your comment. This is what you comment. I go to Brazil on the regular, and there are plenty of women in Brazil. Yeah, because you got to think, them people over there in Brazil, those are black.
He said black women. I thought that was just women in general.
No, but then the black men in America are leaving. They saying they can't find a black woman will accept them for who they are, so they find a woman.
Yeah.
I don't know who these niggas is that's leaving.
I don't think it's not that you can't find. There's a better selection, a better variety. You trying to it's a lot a lot of men are tired of dealing with. They don't want to deal with, and you don't have to deal with when you go to Brazil. It's a whole different vibe. Like, it's not even about women being submissive, because they not. Women are the same. Like, really, I wouldn't say they're a little bit more submissive, but it's just it's a whole different vibe, a whole different attitude. I don't know how to explain it all the way, but like the first time I went to Brazil and I met the chick for the first time. I went there. I spent the night with her, whatever. I woke up. My laundry was started. Breakfast was started. She just met me. Like like that wasn't even a thing. Like she didn't even hesitate to do any of that. Like it's just different.
Because like I was saying earlier,
Hey, what kind of fly ass shit you got going on where you just be a bitch in Brazil? Like how that happened?
I
Like
mean,
you gotta give me some
I'm doing all right.
I mean, how you met her? Like you
Oh, you want to know? Like just online. Like I don't know if I'm gonna put all that out there, but
I mean, no,
okay. So
that's enough. I'm
so look, so
important.
it's a website that I go on. Okay, let's say like it's kind of like TikTok. You go on there, you just start chopping it up. They interested in you, whatever. Y'all start going back and forth, and then that was it. Then the next thing you know, we're sending each other up on Instagram, sending messages back and forth. They communicate a lot through WhatsApp, and
My dude was in DR and I was communicating with some bitches.
yeah, like WhatsApp is an app that they use a lot. They actually use what's it, Tinder. I mean, I know Tinder sound wild, but like they use it legitimately to communicate. Like if you meet somebody on there and you just shoot your shot, if they with it, they with it. A lot
Okay.
of times they are. And okay, I tell you this. So it's much easier for brothers to go to Brazil because the men in Brazil is so many women. Like they just don't they disregard the women. They just running through them like crazy. So the women is fed up with the men in Brazil because that's what they own like all the time. So it's if you go there, it's like okay, you just trying to be straight up with the woman. This is what it is, and they rock with you. It's not hard at all.
Is
I'm
it
talking
mad
about like
trannies in Brazil?
is it what's that?
Is it a hella trannies in Brazil?
Oh man, I ain't checking for that, so I
I mean,
can't really.
you would notice though,
I
like
mean, okay, so I say they're a very open culture. Are you gonna see some? Yeah, probably, but I wouldn't say like they. Okay, the girls sexually they're a lot more open. It's not like they don't even think about like if you having sex like they don't down women or down each other for like sex. Like they're very sexual and they're very superficial. So they're all you'll see a gym everywhere. You see gyms in the park. You see people laying out. They're always concentrating on taking care of their bodies. Uh, so yeah, that's a big thing in Brazil.
okay.
Plastic surgery is big in Brazil too. So
And look,
you should
that's
know
why
that.
I asked you what I asked you, because I'm like, because I know the plastic surgery is popping down there.
Yeah,
So
but
and
I ain't ran into no trains like oh nah you ain't what I thought you was. Nah,
I,
that ain't happened yet.
I heard it was like a bunch of them down there, and I'm like,
Uh, I
that,
mean I guess if you I ain't checking for that though. But yeah, I'm pretty
I
sure
ain't
it is.
mad at you. That ain't what I would be going there for. But,
Right.
but like you know, I like to know what I'm walking into, so I know what to be on the lookout for. You know?
But yeah, as far as like the for me it ain't like that I'm like totally fed up with American women. It's just I don't know. It's just I've been dating for a long time. It's just I was just like let me try this. Let me go see what it's about. And I've been seeing it. I mean I haven't had any bad experiences.
So you yeah, home of the BBL. That's what it
But
stands for.
I ain't gonna lie.
Brazilian butt lift.
When I think of Brazilian women, I always think about when I see them in pornos and shit, because their bodies be so together and they look so good. That's when I think of Brazilian women, they pretty much shape and look like black women.
They
Right.
black. They black.
Like
They big
like
fat.
I like this is another thing that like I when I went down there, I visited a museum. Like the slave trade was big down there too. Like it's a big African culture. Like it's not just like they have so many different variations of women too, different shades, different colors, different textures of hair. Like there's a big Japanese presence down there also.
Really?
Um, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
So that hibachi shit popping.
yeah. Like and Brazilian women's are coming in a lot of flavors.
I can fuck with that.
Yeah,
Like I don't know. Like back to the original point though.
right.
Like the passport boys. That just sounds funny. I don't. I can't say I've noticed like the influx of men that want to go overseas to find a wife. Now, it's funny. It's good talking to you because you giving me a little bit of perspective. Like, I guess, like, on just thinking about why somebody would want to do it, it makes sense. Like, oh yeah, go get me one of these Japanese bros, you know, because look, you know, the Japanese dudes over in Japan, they might slap their bitch right down the face. Like, not even slap her like to the side, like,
nah,
like,
you can't.
like,
Nah, they ain't going for that, but yeah.
They do that shit like that's normal.
No, but I'm saying not Brazil. Like, you do that if you want to.
Yeah, like, that's what you talk. Just smack her face down, like. Bitch.
Nah, they ain't that submissive. Nah, you can't get away with that.
Yeah.
So for me though, it's also more of a financial thing. So like your money goes a longer way. So you're able to do more things, you're able to build things. Like I'm looking at like buying property there and buying property here, have my property here, make money, and you know what I'm saying, just live it up in Brazil. Like Brazil's my spot. I haven't visited a lot of other places. I'm thinking about going to Colombia next, but Brazil seems like to be the place.
Hey, DR, man, our dollar worth about 47.
Yeah, people say DR, but you know what? DR is too many Negroes in DR. I'm just gonna keep you 100. Like I like, hey man, everybody going to DR. It's a shorter trip, so I get it. It's not as it's gonna cost you as much, and like you said, your money go a longer way. But for me, it just feel like, man, everybody going to DR.
Way over there in DR living it up. He was
I believe it.
Time and me. Look, I'm talking about it's a chick wiping the sweat off his face with a rag. It's another one across the room cooking. No bullshit.
I believe it.
I'm like, bro, what is you doing down there? Like, how is you living like that?
Yeah, I believe it because your money go a long way. But see, I think that's a. I mean, there are people who doing that, but like I had a chick who had 3 jobs. She was a teacher. She taught at 3 schools. She had her own money, had a nice place. She didn't want nothing from me, just wanted me. Like it wasn't even it ain't about the money. And the misconception that they want to come here and get their green cards, that's not true. Brazilian women love their country. Like they have no intentions of trying to be United States citizens. Not like I'm saying I was pitching it to her like, hey, you want to come here? She's like, I don't know. Like they're not. That's not even what they're thinking about. Like they're not trying to come here just to be citizens.
And maybe that's just Brazilian ones. I know other places they like.
Yeah, I mean, there's other places I'm pretty sure, but I can only speak on and saying what I know.
I think like a topic like I notice we keep throwing the word around submission. You know, submitting. I think I'm gonna go to a problem with men that probably the niggas that's saying you need to go overseas and get you a wife. When it comes to submitting, look, submitting is more than just like a woman and man thing. Because
right.
a woman submitting don't mean she can't tell you fucking up.
Right.
Like,
no, it don't.
It's more so like out in the world submitting at home. If she gonna submit to you at the house, that means you got to be able to take care of that house.
Right.
Like if me and my woman is on some. Her submitting to me at home would be what? Like taking care of me? You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like, you know, making sure that I'm in as good a condition as I could be when I go out in the world to go get it. So you making sure I feel all right at home so that way I ain't all wound up when I go outside.
Yeah. I don't want people to get the wrong idea too. Like you still got to be a man. You can't just show up and just think, okay, all this gonna be how they go do this, do that. Nah, you gotta have some type of game, have some type of positive about yourself. You can't just be out here just think they just gonna do whatever you say just when you just show up on the spot. That ain't necessarily it.
You see that comment down there, and they take any funds you provide right to their Brazilian, Colombian boyfriend. Stop. So
no, that is not. They very faithful. They hate cheaters. Like they do not play. They very jealous. So they ain't got time for that. That's not what's going on.
I assume, regardless of where people be the same. Oh yeah, back to what I'm talking about with the submitting thing. I think a lot of men's misconception these days is they talk about a woman submitting and they fucked up. Like you submitting. I don't want no coward ass broad. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no woman that's like, I do. The idea of submission to me is different. It's like, okay, you gonna allow me to lead. When it comes down time to decision making time, you're gonna trust my judgment if I'm like, hey, I'm sure about this. Right. But at the same time, as a good leader, I'm supposed to know that when she well informed on something, I'm supposed to be smart enough as the leader to be like, you know what, we're gonna run with that. We submit when we feel safe. Well, I'm talking about more than safe, like, because I mean, what you mean safe? You all submit when y'all feel safe, like what? Like safe, like ain't nothing about to happen to you. Safe financially, what you mean? Like
safety doesn't mean just I'm scared. I mean, as far as your emotions, do you feel safely being, you know, when you're emotional, do you feel safe being open to me communication wise? Safety doesn't always mean.
Right, and that's why I'm asking.
I mean, I hear that, but at the same time, I'm gonna tell you, like, so what really made me go, like, I've been dating a lot of different women, right? And I've been good as far with my funds for a minute. So safe as far as what, like financially, like I've been good. So that ain't it. That ain't the issue. Like if anybody was with me, like everything's taken care of. But they still want to buck at everything. Like, okay, if you the man, you trying to step up, you trying to lead, and they not trying to follow. Like you ain't gonna deal with arguing with nobody over and over and over about like, hey, this is what I think is best for us. And I understand it's two people in a relationship. Not just saying that somebody need to have their way all the time, but if every time that you say and you trying to step up and be the man and lead and doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you just getting flack and back talk and this and that, it's like you get tired of dealing with that. Or I've been dealing with a lot of women who's like it's all about the money, and if you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that, and you gotta take care of all of this and all that, and they feel like the only thing they gotta do is look good. Like, nah, you gotta bring more to the table than just looking good.
As men, we gotta do better at deciding what it is we want from a woman. Because for some niggas, all they want you to do is look good. It's like, bitch,
right. That's what I'm about to say. Like everybody ain't the same. Some people do want that.
But see, I think what a lot of men end up doing, we get caught up in society and shit and what's going on, and then we try to go for the popping image. When in all reality, we need to be more focused on the type of person that's compatible with us. Because I think when it comes to submitting, everybody's idea of submission is different.
Right.
And in a lot of shit, you got a woman that can be submissive, but she got an alpha personality. With a man that's like, I want my woman to be submissive, but then he got a beta personality. And now we got a lot of shit where in the world that kind of present this persona that like, oh, alpha men are the best men. Alpha male is what you want. When in all honesty, everybody's not an alpha. So it's stupid to try to be that. And I think that's where a lot of men run into a problem, because you trying to portray that alpha shit and it's not true. When really you a beta, you need to find a different type of woman, and that's why you end up see
that's true.
The dude got this loudmouth woman, dude be kind of laid back. She be talking, she be popping her shit, but then they just seem to have the best relationship ever. It's because that man be secure enough in himself to be like, you know what, I ain't rah-rah like that. What they say, they haven't been trained on how to be good women because their mamas are single themselves.
Exactly.
A lot of that dude have a lot to do with it, but that actually got a lot to do.
And
with
that goes to the men too. For real. Like if a man haven't been, they don't know how to be men.
Around. They don't know how to deal with no man. They don't know how to take no type of direction. They don't know how to trust a man. So it's hard for them to be like, I can't trust you. My daddy wasn't nowhere around. I don't trust no man. You know what I'm saying?
And that's a red flag. If the man proceeds to try to be a man, and if she already doesn't have a level of respect for a man, it's gonna be hard for you to earn her respect, because she's looking at all men as just because my dad left. You can't look at all. She's gonna look at all men the same way, and you can't do that because every man is different. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys all for the comments. Appreciate the comments. I don't know what this was for, brother. What's this number? Is that the number you call for the mail or the bride, brother? Because that don't look like a United States number, unless it's Puerto Rico or Hawaii, because he's more familiar with those. This number here, is that a Brazilian? Because you familiar with Brazil? Is this the number you call?
I don't know. I don't know that number. It might be.
Oh man, that's the number. I ain't calling that number. You get all type of shit sent to your phone. True, but at the end of the day, you grown into being a woman. So this is
Hey, is this the one we
that's
don't want to share it on my page?
Yeah, that one.
How you know?
Because it says live.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sorry. This is Darius from the Hit Show. Replying to what you were saying about the woman being raised pretty much by single mothers. So even though she's growing into a woman, somebody's gonna have to say, "Hey, all men are not the same." You're gonna have to have him. You're gonna have to learn how to trust somebody.
I like what Darius. I like this comment. That at the end of the day, you grow into being a woman.
Mm-hmm.
As a man, I don't like us saying a good woman. Like, no, they're not a compatible woman for you. We can't, as a man killer, can't no woman tell me what a good man is. They could tell me what's a good man for her, but she can't tell me what a good man is. So I don't try to tell women what a good woman is. I can tell you what my idea of a good woman is.
Right.
But I can't. It's real sexist. Like, okay, I be trying to level with these bros on the whole. Like, we can get some type of equality going on, but at the same time, roles is roles, and the role that I prefer to play is the leader. If we got to have a leader and a team, I want to be the leader. But see, I'm not only like that at home. I'm like that in 9 out of 10 situations. That's just my personality type. I go above and beyond to make sure that I'm informed. I make sure that I'm smart enough to contend on the intellectual level in whatever situation I'm participating in. I like to take care of myself, so my fitness, I'm fit enough to participate in whatever the fuck it is I'm doing. Like that's just like me as a person.
That sounds like as a man, you want to, because a man, what you just displayed is man traits. As a man is not just a leader at home. A man is a leader everywhere he goes. Is what you pretty much just said. That's what a man is. It's not just a leader at home. A man is a leader at all times.
True, but then that poses a problem, because in every situation, everybody can't be the leader.
No, but men is different in the setting with men. So okay, like me, you, and Darius, we're all men, we're all leaders,
right?
But we all know how to intertwine with each other,
right? True.
You see what I'm saying? It's
true.
Different. Now, in men and women situations, it's going to be different, because some women don't want to be led by men. They don't. Some of them don't. But the ones that do will fall in line.
And it's all about. And I think they do want to be led, because I think everybody needs a leader in certain situations. Mm-hmm. Like me, even with my personality, there's certain situations where I'm like, okay, let me sit back. This is somebody else's expertise right here. Right. This is somebody else's place to be. I think these women are more likely to fall in line with that if these men is more equipped. I think us as men, us as men here in this country as a whole, are less equipped than we need to be. Now, because the ones that's equipped, they ain't the ones complaining.
Because they got their shit together.
They ain't the ones that complaining. Like, oh, I'm on top of my shit. I'm on top of my game. I keep my mind right. I keep my physical shit right. I'm good.
Thank you. And this comment came from cast member from the hit show, T Baby. Thank you, T Baby. That comment was from T Baby, what you just talked about. That's from T Baby. Appreciate you. And not cut him off. Just thanking everybody for the comments.
Kyle, what up, girl? What up, Kyle?
Appreciate it. Oh man, we love these comments. Thank you, Calissa Cox. Fact, go ahead. Everybody share this video, because you know what? Any of y'all that want to come in on the live, once again, the link that you see that says StreamYard that I just put in there again. If you would like to talk on the screen like Charlie's on here, we're gonna get some more people here tonight. We want to know what y'all got to say, not just in the comments, but on screen. So tonight we let y'all come on the screen. Don't be scared. Just come on the screen.
Yeah,
But
I
go ahead,
look,
get back to it.
because you know, like me, I'm team man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we out here. I'm rooting for us. I want us to do better, but at the same time, I can't give us that. These women is doing this wrong. These women, because for real, we allow that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And we give them something to do wrong by. If we was all the way right, we wouldn't accept them if they wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's another thing. So it's a lot of lesser men out here accepting stuff that they shouldn't be accepting, and then women think that okay, every man is going to accept that, and I think that's a problem.
Well, you know why?
What's that?
We're vulnerable when it comes to women. When it
Yeah.
comes to women, they know what they got what we want. I'm not gonna say it because we've
Right.
been so many times.
Look, coach.
Okay. I'm gonna say the correct term starts with a V, ends with an A. But that's the reason why they know they can get away with certain shit. They got what
Right.
they want. Most men ain't gonna admit that.
Right.
That's the reason why, I'll be honest with y'all. That's the reason the reason why y'all get away with so much shit is because of what y'all got. And men ain't gonna admit that, but it's the truth. That's the only reason why. I'm just being honest.
And like my boy Darius right here say, man, men barely learning how to control their emotions.
I think
Cannot
they're getting
lead.
better. I think men are getting better now.
All of us ain't getting better. I be seeing, like, I know some niggas personally that's like, bro, what the fuck you on? Why are you doing that with this, bro? Like, y'all could be doing something different. She definitely, I was reading her. That's the one I was just pointing at.
Yeah.
I definitely don't want to be no woman's daddy. I got a son I'm his dad. You know, I don't want to be nobody's daddy. You that shit weird to me. Like, don't call me daddy. You know, now maybe if you want to call me like daddy.
But wait a minute. What do you mean by being somebody's daddy? Like I mean, your daddy take care of you. Your daddy feed you. I was like you gotta. Where's the cutoff?
Go ahead, because you know what? I want you to go back to that. I will say this. Now, what she said was true. You want a man, not a daddy. But at the same time, if your man is doing the same thing your daddy was when you was a kid, taking care of you fully,
that's what I'm saying.
For everything, he's gonna feel like daddy.
Nah, cause he fucking you.
I think people thinking like I'm not talking like you can't think biologically. You can't think biologically. Like biologically, no. I'm not nobody's daddy. I don't want to be. No.
Yeah, I don't want.
But women say that you ain't my daddy. I'm not your daddy, but you want me to pay for everything.
See, this is the whole thing. Think about it. When in marriage, the father is giving you away, right? In most cases. So he's basically handing you over to this man. So now this man is responsible for you.
In marriage, you mean? As far as in marriage?
Yeah, in marriage.
Yeah. Well, he is. Once the father gives his daughter to her husband, he is now in charge of taking care of her.
Right.
And look,
financially, spiritually, that is his job.
And the idea of that kind of union is a little outdated today. Back then, when women couldn't work and shit, that was like, okay, that's lit. Today, when you really look at the idea of marriage, that shit's a business contract. That shit's a business contract. It ain't nothing but insurance. It's insurance that if this shit don't work, somebody gonna tell us how to split it up.
True.
And we gotta figure it out ourselves. But
go ahead and tell them when we was talking about that on your show. Go ahead and tell them. You broke that all the way down.
Oh,
on his. Go ahead and tell them where to find that real quick.
You can check YouTube, Crosscast. That was episode 40 something.
Dose of misogyny.
Yeah, it's called. Yeah, the name of it was a dose of misogyny. That's what that episode.
Okay.
I'm gonna screen share the link in a minute. I'm gonna put the link in the comment. But that's his show. He broke the whole thing down of what marriage is in 2022. So I'm gonna put it in the comments, but y'all gotta check that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna give like a quick little overview where, like, pretty much it's a contract. It's a business contract, and really when you dealing with if people just like, oh, I'm not in it for money, I'm not in it for this, I'm not in it for that. It's just love. Love should be enough to keep you together, regardless of a motherfucking title or anything outside of y'all's house. Um, love should be handling that. Who that at the door, man? Look, you got people running in and out. Oh, my bad. But like love should keep that together. A piece of paper does not make the love more valid, make the love more strong, anything like that. So really, when it comes to marriage, that shit's it's a contract. It's insurance, and it's only insurance for if the shit don't work. If it work, you good. I mean, outside of tax purposes, and really, it's a way for the government to be like, okay, I can keep tabs on both of you niggas at once. Because now y'all lumped together and y'all in one spot. I know how to keep tabs on both of y'all. Me personally, I don't see the point of marriage without there being children involved. And what I mean by children is children that we both share. Now, if I come with my son and the woman I'm with gets attached to my son, that still doesn't constitute marriage because I don't see the point. What are we insuring? Or like, say I get with a woman that's got children, I would be hesitant to marry her because what am I insuring? If it's really just about love, we gonna be together regardless. But that's a quick little overview of what I was saying on my show. I let y'all go check that out. He just posted the link, so I'll let y'all check that out. You can get the full in-depth thing. I ain't gonna give y'all an hour worth of shit because we definitely was talking about that shit for about an hour. But yeah, it's a legal game. It's a legal game, and it's kind of outdated, you know, because now women have earning potential. They can go make money. We can go make money. And that's another thing when we saying women want you to pay for everything. Women want men that's gonna take care of everything. Some women want that because now we have women that are professionals. You know what I'm saying? And they can afford their own homes. They can afford their own cars. They can afford things. So what benefit does she have to be submissive? So that's where it comes to less of a financial thing when you're dealing with a woman that has her finances in order. See, that shit only work when you're dealing with broke hoes. When they broke, yeah, you could be like, bitch, you need to be submissive because I got bread.
I don't think. I just told you. I don't think that's the case. I was with this woman who had 3 jobs. She had her own money, had her own place, and she had no problem being submissive.
Like, and that's probably because you presented something mental to her, something else. But a lot of people, a lot of women, a lot of niggas is trying to get these women to be submissive just because, oh, I got some money. You supposed to submit to me.
Nah.
And it's like, nigga, I don't need your money. So now what you giving her to be submissive to?
But this the problem.
Right.
The problem with that is the reason why men do that dumb shit because they hear so many women say, if you can't take it, I won't deal with you. Not all women, but a lot of women put that shit out there. So then men feel like, okay, well, if that's what it takes for me to get you, then if that's what you require, that's what I got to do. Because women make all the rules to this shit.
And really in situations like that, because now when we go to like a nature standpoint, if a woman is popping your kids out, she probably want to have the option to stay at home with them and raise them until they at an age enough to where they can kind of fend for themselves. You can send them off to school, and then maybe she'll want to get back in the workplace. That's where that financial part come in with men. That when it comes to women that do make their own money, yeah. So you do gotta be up on some financial shit. Just you as a man, we supposed to come if you want that submissive woman that we all talk about and think about. We gotta bring that shit to the table. You gotta have your finance in order. You ain't gotta be rich, but you gotta have enough money to take care of whatever the fuck y'all talking about. You gotta.
I think that's the main thing too about all the relationship stuff. Like some people trying to get to be in relationships when they ain't together themselves mentally or financially, and then you trying to be with somebody when you ain't a whole person. Like it it don't work.
Yeah, because it's like you gotta be financially right. You gotta be you. She has to trust your thought. So when I'm coming and I'm presenting ideas to her, I can't just be popping off
Right.
the side of my neck saying dumb shit that ain't necessarily beneficial to her just because I'm being selfish because she ready to submit because that's gonna turn her off. She like, you know what? I can't keep doing this with him. This nigga is leading me into a brick wall every time.
Right.
You know, you got to do that. And then security is a thing. Women do want to feel safe physically. She don't want to be out and about with you, knowing like, man, if somebody pop off, this nigga about to get beat the fuck up. That ain't saying you gotta be motherfucking 6'8", 300 pounds, but that shit do help. You know what I'm saying? You like you might need to have a gun, or you might need to be in some type of physical shape to make her feel like, okay, this guy can at least hold these niggas off while I get away. You know what I'm saying? Because like I ain't no big dude. I'm short, but you know I got a little size on me, like muscle wise, and I'm willing to do something. So I think that kind of helped me. I think that kind of helped me out when it comes to women insecurity. But and I don't even know. I ain't even gonna sit here and act like I'm just the catchiest of the catch. I feel like I am, but shit, some bitch might be like, nigga, I don't like you. But I just think as men, this what we need to. These are things that we need to address instead of addressing like what's wrong with these bitches or these women. We need to stop worrying more so about what's wrong with them and looking ourselves like, nigga, what's wrong with me? Why I can't get this woman that I want? Why I can't get these type of women? As opposed to pointing the finger like, why these broads? I need to go overseas and get me a bitch. Now, if you go overseas and get you one, that's just what you did. You didn't have to. That's just what you chose to do. You know what I'm saying? Like you going to Brazil doing your 1-2. Hey, that shit fly for real. That's raw. And that say something to her. Like, I got the means to come holler at you in Brazil, and I don't stay here. You know, like that's fly. So yeah, she might be a little willing to. Yeah, I'm about to wash this nigga clothes and cook him some breakfast. You know what I'm saying? He got a couple dollars in his pocket, at least enough to get to me, and he got enough foresight to plan this trip and come do it. Yeah, that was fly on your end. That was fly.
So I mean, what do you think? The pushback. What do you think? I mean, I want to know what people think about it. Because if anybody, you know what I'm saying, like what do people think about people going overseas, going to these places? I think people think it's just a bunch of tricking going on, and that's not necessarily the case. I think that's what people think, but I mean that's not necessarily the case. I mean, you can't.
Go ahead, finish up, and I got to get Dizzy on. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying I just don't think it's going over there, doing a bunch of tricking and just throwing money just out the window. I think if you legitimately going over there trying to find a good woman, you'll find a good woman. If that's what you're looking for. If you're going over there just to have a good time, I guess you could do that.
I think, and for real, I feel you on that. Like, so, before you slide out, I do want to say that you right about that. It's all about what you're going there for. Somebody saying I want to go to find a wife is because I can't find one here. That's poo shit. Now, if you just like, I'm not gonna go see what's up because I'm fucking with you, I'm saying that's fly. So you got the fly idea. You know, so I want you to know that before we switch you out for Dizzy. But you got the fly idea. The way he worded it, the niggas that saying it like we gotta go overseas to find wives. Poo butt.
Charlie, we appreciate you, man. I gotta get Dizzy the host. You've been waiting patiently. I appreciate you, brother. Keep leaving comments and share the video. And I gotta get the next lady in. All right. Hey, how are you? Introduce yourself.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Dizzy, the host. I'm an international hostess, but I'm based out of Virginia. But I the world and I host events, talent shows, etc. for the military community.
Nice.
Oh, that's fly.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna have to check you out.
Okay, yeah.
Check us out. Check us out on Show Me What You Got. That's the name of the platform. So, thank you.
Okay.
For sure, definitely. So what's your take on these passport boys?
Okay, so it's really funny that you're doing this podcast this evening because next week I'm flying to Germany to do a documentary about military individuals interacting with the German community.
Okay.
Hip hop, entertainment, how the women are bred to get American men, yada, 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 yada.
That's
So
fly.
Oh, yeah.
right. So when I saw this, I was like, let me listen in and see what they talk about. Yeah, I mean, so I don't want to give too much of what I feel about these dudes that go across.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Why you don't want to tell
This
us?
is an open platform. Go ahead.
I'm gonna give you my base feeling. All right. So mine comes from a different aspect of seeing from the outside in. I'm not the dudes going over, and I'm not the chicks that they was trying to get. So I'm outside watching them do this process.
Us too.
All right. So let's take your average American dude. Average. All right. They go overseas, right? They go overseas and they go to a place like Germany. All right.
Wiener Schnitzel
is where if you come and you have black skin, gold around your neck and in your mouth, they automatically assume that you a rapper or an NBA player. That's the first thing.
Okay.
So imagine the treatment that you're going to receive. That's right, Deutschland, my homie. Just imagine the treatment that you're going to receive when all you got to do is put a couple chains around your neck and a couple of pieces of gold in your mouth, and you're treated like a superstar. When women in the U.S. know better. We know you're not a superstar, but it's okay because everybody ain't cut for that cloth. But you go to Germany and you are you're average dude for real. And then all of a sudden, the women in your circle are treating you as if you are top-notch prime beef. You know what I'm saying? Now, that doesn't mean you were never prime beef before. Now you getting the treatment.
You was giving cheeseburger vibes, now you giving T-bone.
Exactly. Now, and then I'm gonna tell you, I don't have a problem with that. If you think he's somebody, treat him like somebody. I don't care if he's here in the United States, in Germany, or any other country. If you think he's somebody, treat him like he's somebody. Here's where the problem comes in, and I wish your other boy would have stayed in, because I'm the one that said, please don't get it confused with you down in Brazil, Colombia, whatever. Your money stretches farther in that country, so you are automatically more of a baller there than you were here.
Gotcha.
Okay? And their bloodlines, they try to stick to true bloodlines down there in Brazil and Colombia. So they'll come and cook your dinner, come and blow you off, come and do anything and everything possible to obtain the funds. But I'm telling you, the funds go back to their bloodline, which is boyfriend Poppy, husband Poppy, whoever it is in the country. So they'll do all these things for you. That's not uncommon. But it's not for the betterment of you or her moving forward. Typically, there's exceptions to every rule. I get it. But typically, that ain't what it is, bro. All right? So in Europe, let me tell you how Europe breaks down as an American going to Europe. So I have a cousin. I'm not going to name him, but I'm going to tell you exactly how I was.
What his name is?
No. My cousin was the average American black dude. I love him to death. He's average American. He's dope, but you know what I mean? Okay.
Right.
He goes over to Europe. He gets a little chain, gets some gold in his mouth. Then the European honeys is thinking, oh my God, he is this, that, and the third. No, bro, you a military member with more income than probably their German counterparts have. Okay, you have access to a military installation to products and items that the Germans don't have access to. So what's she gonna do? Pimp you to her requirement. I want to get access to that base. I want to get access to tax-free products. Oh, and by the way, if I get a baby by you, then my child can have a United States passport because opportunities are bigger in the United States. You see what I'm saying?
He said he met her.
It doesn't matter if you ask for money. Go back and calculate how much money you've given. I don't have to ask money for money to receive money.
I'm feeling what you're saying, because look, no, you
Hold on, but I'm not done. So my average cousin, we at the club, and he bring look, I'm straighter than straight. And he brings this badass honey and tells me this is his girlfriend. Now, I repeat again, I love my cousin. And I'm like, that's your girlfriend now? Yeah, and I was like, okay. Because I know damn well you probably wouldn't have pulled this chick in the States. But it's okay. We in Europe. We live somewhere else.
Yeah, y'all.
She loves me. She support me. She do this, that, and the third. And I'm like, okay. Okay, because I ain't going to be a hater. But I'm like, okay. And I said, this is all I'm going to tell you. Be careful. And he said, why? I said, military members, beware. There's a such thing as called gone in 10. You know what gone in 10 means? Yeah. If you're a military member and you get married to anybody for 10 years at least, they get a portion, 50% of your retirement when they divorce you.
Isn't that anybody? No.
You get the passport as the woman he's dating. Your children get military benefits because they're with you, the American. And so I said, just be careful. Wouldn't you know that in year 10, all of a sudden, there's a divorce brewing between my cousin and his wife.
And they were together that long?
They back in the States, got several kids. She's got a passport, U.S. citizenship, and she is out.
I mean, he got 10 years out of her. No.
That's why he got money worth 10 years. Yeah.
He had a baddie for 10 years. That he wouldn't have got here.
Right. And again, I'm not knocking her hustle because I knew that it was the hustle. I'm not knocking that. And I'm not knocking him for falling for it. But this is a repeated theme in history with Americans going to other countries and obtaining wives. I'm not saying that all of them are like this.
No, but it happens.
It happens
right.
here every day.
Look, ask y'all's dads and grandfathers when they went over the Philippines. When they went to Vietnam. They was
getting them pregnant. They was getting them bro. I know what they were.
Right. I go over here. I'll meet Miko. Miko gets pregnant by me. I bring Miko back. And now I'm sending $50 million a month back to the Philippines to pay for Miko and her entire family.
Yeah.
So that what I'm saying is, y'all think, not you, but y'all think it's what's up to go over there and do that. And I'm sure if that's what you want to do, that's cool. Just know women are hustlers everywhere. It's just the way they play the game is different.
Yeah. Well, the way I look at it as a man, you got to pay. You're going to pay anyway. So you might as well pay for what you want, whether it's here or somewhere else.
But see,
right.
even with that logic, you got to make sure you're paying for what you want. If you're paying for 10 years that you want 10 years, then okay, you ain't got to be no type of careful. You just go ahead and grab the baddest bitch you see and marry her.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, I'm about to buy me a wife.
If I'm paying, she better be bad. If I'm paying, then she ain't.
I mean, you ain't gonna pay for no ugly. You ain't gonna pay for no ugly Jordans.
You be surprised.
No, hell, no.
You be surprised, man. Everybody's self-esteem ain't up there, man. Some niggas boss.
It ain't. But you know what? I'm sorry. I don't know y'all names, but my boy with the locks. What's your name?
Cleveland.
Yeah,
you call me Showtime. It's Showtime Holmes on the Facebook. You definitely got a friend request me and whatnot.
I just want to hit something that you said, and you're not wrong because everybody is right in their own opinion, right?
Oh, somebody in that marriage shit.
No, I'm not coming at you. I just want you to think about something. I want you to think about something. You're not wrong. I just want you to think. Do you have kids at all?
Yeah, I got a son.
You don't have a daughter?
Nah, my girl got daughters. I don't got one though. I don't have no daughter.
So let me ask you something. Do you treat her daughter like she's yours?
When she around, yeah.
Okay.
She don't live with me.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. So as a father, what are you supposed to do for your daughter? What's your role as a daddy to a daughter?
I'm supposed to show her what a man that cares about you is supposed to treat you like.
Right.
I'm also supposed to help you be secure in yourself so that way you don't just feel like you need a man for validation.
Yes. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh yeah, I'm doing that shit. Keep going.
You are. I happen to be an individual. Look, I like to call myself an endangered species because my parents have been married for over 46 years. Damn. There's no broken household I'm coming from. So I don't have daddy issues. I have daddy love.
Right.
And everything that you just stated is what my father instilled in me. This is how a man is supposed to treat you. This is how a man is supposed to respect you. This is how a man is supposed to approach you. All of these things that daddy taught me is my expectations for my husband.
Right.
Okay. So my dad taught me what I'm supposed to be looking for.
Exactly.
So I don't want to hear any woman come out her mouth and say that when she gets married, she's not looking for a daddy. Yes, you are. Ooh. You're looking for the example of love that was given to you by the first man in your life. My daddy opens doors. My daddy gets me what I used to get me what I needed when I needed it. If I didn't deserve it at the time, he kept it from me. He taught me responsibility, respect, love, trust, admiration, all of those things. So when my husband of 16 years, you damn right I'm going to call him daddy because he fulfills that checklist that makes me whole.
Exactly.
I get down with that.
You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't have left the sanctuary of my father if I wasn't being passed to someone who checks all the boxes.
That's what I said earlier. Remember what I was saying?
That's why you give him away.
And you know what? My other friend wasn't on here tonight, but I'm going to follow you. My friend, Cyan the Madman, always say daddy's girls make the best wives because they understand men, they respect men, and got love for men. They know how to love a man.
Exactly. And
when he says that, the women get so mad, but it's the truth.
It is the truth. And here's the thing. I'm an alpha female. I mean, if you couldn't tell, I'm already.
Yeah, I caught that.
I'm an alpha female. Trust and believe I will roll over on my belly and be that kitten for the one that chose me. Because that was the one placed on this earth to lead me.
Right. And he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's doing what he's supposed to do. Like, because as a man, we supposed to be able to be that. We're not supposed to just expect that because we men. And I think that's something that a lot of men is falling into. And that's because a lot of dudes ain't have the right relationships with their dad. I was real close with my father before he passed. I watched him deal with my mom. I watched him deal with my sisters. You know what I'm saying? I watched him deal with me and my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I in turn try to emulate that.
Right.
I felt like he was a good leader.
Right. And any smart woman, when the woman is watching you to see whether or not she can be led by you, she's watching how does he treat his mom? How does he treat his sister? How does he treat the other women in his life? Because that's the example that's ingrained in your soul. So that shows me how you're going to treat me. Past the mask, past the dating age, past all of that. How you treat other women in your life tells me what I'm going to be long term.
I've said that many times before on the podcast when we talk about men and women, when I was talking about women, how you choose men. If a man does not respect his own mother, he's not going to respect you.
No.
Right.
No.
You see me, I take my mama to breakfast every Sunday. Like that's my heart right there. And until I'm married, I'm gonna keep taking her. Even after I'm married, I'll probably still keep taking her every Sunday. My wife is with, I take her somewhere on another day.
Right. You keep taking mama to breakfast on Sunday because you can take me on Saturday.
You feel me?
Not interfere with what you got with your mom because she taught you her and your dad taught you what was necessary to catch the woman who marries you.
And see, that's a problem that I run into with some women nowadays. Like the woman I'm dealing with right now is not a problem, but like I've seen women in the past where it's a problem. What? You too close to your mom. What? You know, like on some weirdo shit. Like why you, like how you feel threatened by my mother?
That's coming from women who do not have that security with their parents. They don't know. They don't understand that love because they never experienced it.
Yeah, that's an immediate red flag. I'm like, abort mission.
Right. And guess what? He might not be the one for you. But guess who she might be good for? She might be good for someone else who don't have a relationship with their mom.
Possibly. And they go heal together.
Earlier said something that I in so many words I say the same thing. I don't want to believe that there are necessarily bad men and bad women in the world. I want to say there's a hell of a lot of good men and women across the world. But the problem is they're not meeting each other at the right times and periods in their life. So, like, let's say you got a 20-year-old dude who's still in his whole phase. Ma'am, if you are 30-something years old, you're not about to cuff this 20-year-old dude who's still in his whole phase. Yeah, so don't be mad because your phases don't match up. Leave him alone. Move the hell on.
And really, I think people, we get caught up in, when we get to trying to define roles, we get caught up in them parts that ain't necessarily a role. We start attributing to being men and women.
Right.
It's impossible to be bad as a man because you're a man. It's impossible to be bad as a woman because you're a woman. It's very easy to be a bad person. You could just be a shit person. That don't have a gender. You're just a shit person.
Exactly.
You emotionally unstable. That's not just a bad man. That makes a bad woman too. The characteristics that people look at and be like, that's a bad man. It would make a bad woman too. You're just a bad person.
Exactly. I agree with that 100%.
See, I'm cooking, nigga.
Y'all doing good. I'm listening. Y'all doing good. I ain't even have to talk that much. I'm listening, but I see where you're going with your documentary. I don't want to go too far into it because I just sent you a message and I'll follow you now.
All right,
that is very interesting, and I'm gonna have you back. And when you're done with,
where's she at? Where's she at?
Inbox me back when you're done, so that way I can bring you on the show. We can talk about it and screen share and play some of it right here on our page to promote your show.
No doubt, no doubt.
What's your Facebook thing? What is
my Facebook name is Shonda Dizzy Missy. On Instagram, I'm Dizzy the host. On TikTok, I'm Shonda Dizzy Missy as well. So I will
SHAUND
SHANDA
SHANDA
and then DIZZY.
Shonda Dizzy Missy.
That's me.
Where's it at? I ain't find it. Oh.
MISSE is the last name, not MISSY.
We appreciate you. Tell everybody where they can reach you at.
All right. So again, Facebook, Shonda Dizzy Missy, MISSE. Instagram, I'm Dizzy the host. On TikTok, I'm Shonda Dizzy Missy as well. Holler at us. Show Me What You Got is the Travel and Talent Show. And What You Got to Say was the podcast, which is now about to be turned into a television show. So keep it in your radar.
Hey, definitely. I'm following you now. We appreciate you. We're going to have you back. I'm going to check out your stuff, and we're going to bring you back on the show here probably the next month or so. We got a lot of shows coming up. But thank you so much for all your knowledge and your information. Appreciate it.
No problem, sweetie. It was great. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
All right. Have a good
one.
Now. Uh-oh. Next up, we going back to middle school.
Yeah, what up, boy?
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
what's up, Cleveland? What's up, James? Man, I finally got off and seen that Darius sent me the link to join y'all motherfuckers. What's good?
Man, what's going on, man? You know what we're talking about, right?
Passport
Yeah,
boy.
man, I've been watching for 30 minutes. I was like, add me, man. Add. But then I finally got out and I seen that Darius sent me the stuff, man. Y'all was talking on a whole bunch of things that I wanted to tap in on, but a lot of it's past now. So
But go ahead, give us your insight. Go ahead.
ask me my insight on one of the. Y'all been talking about a lot of shit. Y'all been talking about a lot of shit.
So like when it comes to men in search of wives in particular, not just girlfriends, like men that still believe in marriage, or we'll even say life partners, even like that. And I don't mean that in no funny style, but I mean like
Yeah.
not that we excluding people that get down in a different way, but this is strictly about men.
Yeah. I got you. So the way that I look at it, for one, you as a man have to know yourself. Like there's a lot of dudes that's just going willy-nilly, going with the flow, and they don't even really know who the fuck they are. You know what I'm saying? They still trying to figure life out. And when you are looking for a wife, there's certain things that you need to have figured out. There's certain things that you need to have in place. Like, can you support a wife? Can you support a family? Do you know how to do certain things that is expected of a husband? I think the definition of a husband and a wife is lost in a lot of people as to why we get divorces, because people feel society puts these pressures on people to go ahead and find a wife and a husband. And I don't think that society does enough to make sure that we know exactly what the fuck that means, which is why there ends up being divorces, which is why people end up, they go into it too early. You know what I'm saying? I personally think in your 20s, I'm in my 30s now. And now I feel like I'm in the only place I've been to be able to find a wife, because I needed to figure myself out. You know what I'm saying? If I would have got a wife, the way that my mind has changed from 20 to 30, there would be a high probability of my marriage being on the rocks. You know what I'm saying? There will be a high probability of us on trying to figure out if this works, because if you're so young and you don't experience so much life, you don't really get the chance to know who you are, especially if you've grown up in like church. Like me, I feel like church sheltered me so freaking much. I feel like it hindered me in a way, to where there was so many things that they didn't want us to know, because the devil, or it's a sin, or this and that. And then you can come to a place, to a whole different city, and get city slick by a motherfucker because you just don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Thinking everybody playing by the same set of rules.
Yeah, exactly. In the same way that the woman was just on talking about her cousin, that like the fine ass girl that played the long game in 10 years to get what she want. People do that shit. And the church and the R&B songs that I grew up made me think that the world was sweet. And life quickly told me it ain't.
I think it can be sweet, but like you said, you need to know yourself. Like me personally, I had a relationship a few years ago. It was actually one of the up until that point, it was the best relationship I had ever had. But unfortunately, I was going through a metamorphosis as a person. I was a little different than I'm sitting here today. I was headed to this point, but I wasn't here. I didn't have the level of clarity and self-awareness that I have today. And I'm not saying I'm done, like, oh yeah, I'm just where I'm gonna be, self-awareness and all that shit. But at that time, I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't in the position to receive that way. And that comes with knowing yourself. So like you don't necessarily only get bad shit from not knowing yourself. You not fit for anything like that when you don't know yourself. It's hard to pick a life partner when you don't know what kind of life you want. it's hard to pick that right. Some people luck up and land in something that they can tolerate for the rest of their life. I don't want to tolerate something for the rest of my life. Like when you put the word like tolerate, it sounds real bad.
Exactly.
I want to be there. I don't want it to be like, oh well, we got this comfortable living situation. I'm used to it. I'm just gonna stick this shit out until I die. It ain't bad.
Well,
But like, that's
I think a compliment is people make a mistake just because they've been making it for so long. They become stagnant and comfortable with the mistake. With the person is like, you know what, this I know that the way that I feel is not good, but I've been with you so long that I don't know. Like I'm scared to see what else is out there. And the way that I look at it is love is always a gamble. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you put yourself out there, it's a fucking gamble because it's really hard to get people because there's a lot of people that will try to put their A game front on and make themselves look better and be someone that they truly aren't. And then when time goes on, you start to see is, okay, you know what? The person you were presenting to me as who you are really isn't you. And now I'm starting to see you because the thing that I believe, people don't really change. They just show you more of who they really are.
True. No, true. And a lot of people don't give people enough time to show themselves. Mm-hmm. I've been guilty of that. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, oh, yeah, you're doing this. And it's like, hold on, who the fuck are you? And it's like, if you'd have waited a second, you'd have saw that. You know, so people get caught up in the honeymoon stage and never give it time to get back to the, okay, now this is the us living stage.
Yeah.
What does this look like? Okay, I can do this forever. Because the honeymoon stage, that shit, I mean, shit could still be good like the honeymoon, but that honeymoon stage come with an extra layer of clouds and rainbows and shit. You know, that ain't really there. You just like, oh, I'm so happy I found somebody I love. I'm just gonna spend every waking moment talking and thinking and dreaming about you. And it's like, nah, when you get back to real life, it's still shit you gotta handle, and this person don't get to go with you. You might just see them when you get home.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like the problem is when you meet someone and you like them a lot, you then inadvertently or subconsciously start to try and divert any bad aspects of you that you don't want them to see, but it's really part of who you are. And they have to see that because in order for them to accept you for who you are, you cannot hide your shortcomings. Whatever your shortcomings are, I think you should put them in their face. You know what I'm saying?
That's my approach these days. I like to lead off with the bad shit. Shit that the last person told me. I don't
know about leading off, but you got to get to
Look, the woman I deal with right now, before we got to the point we're at now, my views on marriage is not conventional, and it's probably
mine either.
Something that a lot of people might disagree with. Hell, this nigga James sat next to me on my show and was like, nigga, you tripping. You know?
But you need people like that to let you know it's like, you my nigga, but you talking some shit.
I wasn't tripping. So but look though, like I told her that my view on it, and she kind of like, but me as a person, I guess like that's a fundamental thing. Like we still kind of have some friction about that, but at the same time, she's got to know me even more of me. So it's like, I'm not on no funny shit. I'm not trying to lead you on or nothing like that. I'm giving you the negative shit right up front, along with the good shit that's reeling you in. I'm telling you these like, hey, look, this is how this gonna be. So if you want to run, this is a good chance. It's a good time to take off. Okay, you want to sit around and do this with me? Okay, let's go ahead and see where this goes. At the rate she's gonna end up with what she wants.
I think so. Everything in life is learned. Everything in life is learned, and you have to live life to know how to get what you want. And there's there's a lot of people that just don't know how to get what they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people that like, I want to be rich, but have no idea how to fucking get there. I want to do this, but have no idea how to fucking get there. And the thing of it is, we've been on it like what the Bible and Jesus, 2022 years. There's so much knowledge on everything to where, for one, no one can acquire all the knowledge in the world. But if you know how to look for what you're looking for, you can find the answer to any question you have. For real, for real.
And a lot of people don't know what they want. That's the main reason they can't find it, because they don't know what they want. The average person asks them what they want. They're gonna be like, "What you mean? What you mean? Like, you mean like this? You mean like that?" Most people ain't like, "What you want?" Well, shit, I want da 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 da. Most people don't know what they want, so it's hard for you to give somebody something to work with when you don't know. And that's why back to your original, the first thing you said, you need to know yourself. You need to know yourself, because a lot of people, everybody's like, "Oh, I wish I was rich. I want to be rich. I want to be rich." Most people don't want to be rich. Most people have no interest in being rich. They want certain stuff. They want to be able to do certain things, but they don't want to be rich. Like me personally, I want certain things that actually just the thought of having a bunch of money and nothing to spend it on is ridiculous to me. Why would I spend my life pursuing a shit ton of money that I'll never be able to spend? That's not what I would spend my time doing. But what I would spend my time doing is setting up something that keeps bringing in money, so that way when I'm gone, the people I love can still be making some. But
well, like, I'll say this: ESPN has a 30 for 30 broke. And there's some rich motherfuckers that spend the fuck out of that money. Trust me, bro. I don't care how much money you fucking end up making. You can throw that shit away quickly, bro. Quickly, dude.
I'm sure you could, but it's like the shit that I require for me, I don't need $10 billion. Now, if I amass it by accident, okay. But that's never going to be my life goal to be like, "Oh, I want $10 million. No.
There's no way in the world right now to get $1 billion on accident at all. You can win the lottery, motherfucker, but $1 billion, if you amass that shit, you were very intentional on what the fuck you was doing. That's all I'm gonna say. I fuck with what you were saying. You just went too big with the number. You could have said millions, but you went to billions.
Think about somebody like Kanye West. This nigga make $1 billion just doing shit he like. He really want to make clothes and shit. The nigga just so happened to make $1 billion. He want to make clothes. He still ain't even got.
Hold on. Wait. I got my gripes with Kanye, but he didn't just happen to fall on $1 billion. Kanye has been very strategic and smart. As crazy as he looks to people, that motherfucker knows what he's doing. That's what I'm gonna say.
But you got to look at what he was aiming for. He's aiming to get into the clothes industry. He wants to be able to create clothing and shoes and stuff without any type of barriers on it. That's really what he wants. It just so happened to come with $1 billion. If he could have got his goal with $1 million, I bet you he did that.
I think y'all underestimating him. If you really look, what's up, big boy? What's up, boy? How you doing?
This is my dude, everybody.
How you doing?
I was
listening
What's
to y'all
good, bro?
talk about that bag. How y'all doing? But I'm gonna speak about that bag real quick, because y'all talking about Kanye. You gotta understand that the camp that he's in, if you think about it, everybody in that camp has got a beat. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I think that they all, you know what I'm saying, strategically put themselves into place. Now, with saying
what
that,
I was saying.
you were saying that
three of them got it.
Yeah. No, it's more than three. It
was a whole lot of niggas in that camp, and none of them got it.
It's a whole bunch of them got it. You know what I'm saying? But they just
the top motherfuckers got it. Fuck the motherfuckers on the bottom. The top motherfuckers got to be.
Right. But listen, it's easy to make money. You know what I'm saying? It really is. You know what I'm saying? It's all about keeping it though. So you gotta be able to invest that money so you can have some type of residual. You know what I'm saying, coming in and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even if you say for example, you 35, right? You chasing that bag. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think about, by the time you 50, you ain't got the same energy that you had at 35. You know what I'm saying? So what are you gonna do at 35 to get to that goal at 50 to be able to just step back and say, I ain't doing shit. You know what I mean? And so
right.
that's what it is.
And that boils down to what do you want at 50? You gonna do things to put yourself in place. If you just currently chasing whatever it is you want, say I want to play basketball. LeBron wanted to play basketball. He ended up falling into position to do other things, and then he decided, hey, I want to do this. So now I'm gonna do this. Oh, look, I got $1 billion. But you initially following what you want to do. The money comes with it, and whatever that lifestyle is that you want to lead, the money gonna follow it if you really pursuing that lifestyle, because you can't help but get it if you following whatever that is you want.
Most definitely, but LeBron knows what he knows what he wants. See, at 35, you gotta think about, or 40 or whatever, you gotta think about what you want to be able to hit that goal for retirement for you. You know what I mean? And so you gotta set your mind to it. Now you made a statement earlier that most people don't know what they want. They don't. Because they see everything and it's a microwave society. You know what I'm saying? But a thinker knows what he wants, because a thinker is tired of being in a situation where he ain't able to do for him or herself. You know what I mean? So when you put your mind to it, you free your mind, your ass to follow, you know what I'm saying? And then you'll start making some moves to where you good. You know what I mean? But you got to ask yourself the question that you said, what do you really want? You know what I mean? And then the question behind that is, are you really willing to do the work to lead up to where you need to be at?
Right. And most people that got that big money, you either inherited it or you got so good at figuring out what you want to do, and the things you want to do require that type of money. So then you end up with it. But most people is just like, anybody's just like, man, I want $1 billion. For what? What do you want it for? Just so I can have $1 billion? You probably never gonna get it. Most of them people ain't never gonna see that shit, or you gonna be miserable if you do get it. If you just like, I just want $1 billion, I have $1 billion.
But as long as they got the appetite for it and the ambition to go get it, you know what I'm saying? They might come close to it though. You know what I mean? You got to have that mentality though.
Look, because ultimately, money is currency. Money is a trade medium. It's a way to exchange the energy I put in over here for the energy you put in over here for the thing you got.
Sure.
Money, the concept of money, money is just paper. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like people that's just like, I want money. You ain't gonna get it because you don't want the right thing.
It's
the
paper,
right
but
you want something to barter. You want something you can trade. You want that currency.
That's paper, but what's the value that people put
paper
on
don't
it?
got no value.
But people put value on it though. That's why currency is so strong. That's why money is so strong, because $10 might mean $1 to you, but $10 might mean $10 to the average person who's struggling though. You see what I'm saying? So it's what value do they put on there? You know what I mean? And so somebody might have that $1 billion goal.
Value on something else. Like, okay, say I need $10 so I could buy a sandwich, or say you need me to shovel your yard. We could skip the $10. You could just give me the plate.
Yeah, I understand that, but most people want that monetary value though, and that's where the disconnect
so that way they can barter in different ways.
That's where the disconnect is. You know what I'm saying? To a person getting to that goal of $1 billion. You know what I mean? Because they're not trying to put in that work. You know what I mean? Because all the time you ain't got to. When people say chase that bag, you ain't got to get $1,000 for some work that you did if you can barter.
That saying chase the bag is what got us so many people fucked up today, because it got you worshiping a piece of paper as opposed to what that paper represents. Exactly. If you go for what that paper represents, you can have as much paper as you want.
Hey, that saying chase the bag. That saying chase the bag is fucked up, because what they really need to be saying is adulting. Because see, you got to be able to make some money so you can be able to wash your ass and pay your bills. That's the average thing that a person does. You know what I mean? Is doing that. So the younger people say chasing that bag, you know what I'm saying? But grown folks say they going to work to be bringing a paycheck in. You know what I mean?
I know this. Look. This is something I literally saw with myself. Because look, I got felonies and shit. I done been to jail a few times. I was out when I broke up with the girlfriend I was just speaking about before.
I apologize, y'all. My phone might go dead.
I was making like $12.50 an hour. I was making enough to contribute to that household. When what I wanted changed, my earning went up. because I started focusing on what I wanted. I wanted my own place. I wanted to be able to take care of myself. I wanted to get myself right.
Right.
And then like somehow, some way, the universe threw me an opportunity to make more money. Now, when you go and you study things like manifesting and things like that, it's funny how that all that shit kind of align with it's not funny, it's real. How all that shit aligned with, I didn't want more money. That wasn't what I was looking for. I was looking for means to take care of myself. I was looking for things to do. I was looking for something to help my people out. I was looking for shit like that. And then
which requires more money.
Right. It just so happened to come with what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
But really,
I also think that how you were saying that, you know, $10 might mean something different to different people. With us in the community, I think the discrepancy of what money means to us is how some people in the white community take advantage of us. Because I've been able to be around, like at Ohio State, then here at the shipyard, to where I've been able to brush elbows with some really rich white people. And I found out that they do what the fuck that they want. The way that they look at money is not the way that we look at money. And then sometimes they look at us as licks. You know what I'm saying? They know that, and that's how they end up screwing us over in contracts, because money that ends up being so much to us that'll make us overlook things is small money to them. To some of them, the elite. The elite.
And here's the kicker, because they realize what the real thing is. They want the energy.
Yes. That's what I'm getting. That's what I was getting to. Yep. Exactly.
We know
exactly.
Bring attention. You bring attention. 1 million people are going to watch you dance on this stage. Here, I'll give you $100 million. What you're giving me is priceless, because I can always go get more money, because you giving everybody's attention.
Here's the thing. No matter what a white person pays you, they're making more money than because it will be ass backwards business wise for them to pay you more money than they're about to make off of you. NBA players, the owners, no matter on every fucking contract, was like, yo, LeBron James is making motherfucking buku, what's names, but I guarantee you that owner is shitting on LeBron's paycheck. I guarantee you. In every fucking aspect where someone has a contract and they get something, whoever signed them is making more money off of them than what they just offered them. Period.
Yeah. And you know why? Because I'm getting the energy exchange here. I'm making sure that energy is getting channeled my way, so that way I can barter it the way I want to barter it. That's really what it boiled down to. Like, really, we discussing the same thing.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
I call it energy, you call it money. That's what I'm getting out of this conversation.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm
going to the because money differs regardless of where you at. You got a Deutsch over here, you got a peso over there, but you get it all with the same thing. It's gonna take you some energy, and you're gonna need to be getting some energy back. And we use the dollar just to trade that energy. So maybe I don't gotta trade my energy directly with you. You got some corn over there, but I could go work with him. He give me some money, and then I could just hand you this money for the corn.
I mean, it's the same thing when you think about these fast food and like these big old chains that try to offer a little bit of money. And then when let's take McDonald's for example. I found out that McDonald's makes the amount of money to pay all their employees in the store in the first 5 days of a month, and everything past that is profit.
I can see that.
First 5 days. There's 25 days of motherfucking profit. And you don't mean to tell me they can't pay people a better living wage? But the thing of it is, America has been made to keep a bottom line. When you keep a bottom line, there's an area of people that you can underpay. And that's what they've made sure that they've been able to do. And because
as long as people don't know what they want, they'll keep coming and get that job because they don't know what they want.
Exactly. They don't. Well, it's not even knowing what they want. I think the problem with us is not knowing what we're worth. Because right now, bro, I will not accept a job that pays me under $35.
That's fair.
I won't. And the job that I'm going for right now will end up paying me $60 an hour. It's salary, but if I put it down to an hour, the job that I'm going for right now will pay me $60 an hour. But it's only because the thing of it is, I've decided to be a continuous student, to continually learn and put myself in different areas to figure this world out, because people are making that fucking money.
Yeah,
People are making that fucking money. You stay in Painesville and stay in the small mindset, you will never know how much money people are really getting out here.
Yeah, no, true. Cause look, shit, you could get $60 an hour if you go cut somebody's grass yourself.
Right.
But that's being, so what I'm doing is more, I'm no longer using my body for shit. People pay for my mind.
Ain't nothing
People
wrong.
pay for my mind now. And I promise you, and that I can give y'all this information off of this. The job that I'm going for that will pay $60, you don't need a bachelor's. You don't need a what's name. You just need to be able to pass this exam and truly understand what the fuck they talking about. To be able to implement this. I've found so many jobs that's paying into six figures that all you need is a fucking certificate for. But we don't know that shit. Seriously, bro. CDLs is one of them. But at the same time, that's not easy, because I know some motherfuckers that failed them classes.
Yeah, I've had mine for 12 years, so it comes in handy.
I don't like driving that much.
I mean, that's when it comes to, you have to know what you want to do, to where the job that I'm going for, the reason I'm going for it is because I feel like it really speaks to who I am. The morals and the means of the subject that I'm going for, when I was reading through their processes, the things that they stand for, I was like, yo, that really speaks to who I am. And I was like, if I was made for any job, it was this fucking job. You know what I'm saying? The same way that I'm doing all these things with the business owner meeting, I'm influencing people to use their mind and be more, intuitive in things. You know what I'm saying? And being more vigilant to knowing your worth. That's the job that I'm going for. That's what they try to make sure that the people that you're under, it's all about influencing, motivating, and coaching people to be able to do things that they possibly don't know what they're doing. And I'm like, that's exactly who the fuck I am. And you gonna pay me how much fucking money? Yeah, I got that, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, that sounds like something I do.
Yeah. I definitely message y'all what I'm talking about. I'll tell you right now. So Scrum Master.
Who?
Scrum is a framework for being able to do complex, and I'll tell you. But Scrum Master, look it up, and I promise you, man. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get off. I got something I got to go handle. And it's been a pleasure, man. I would love to be on the show again. Y'all doing some good things. James, bruh, you doing it big. Cleveland, you doing it big. I love y'all.
Love you too, bro. Be safe out here.
For sure.
We're definitely going to have you back.
For sure.
All right, so we got to get back.
Yeah, I'm not ready to wrap it up too.
Yeah, we got to get back to this passport, because I got to give my perspective. Be honest with y'all. Now, I'm on TikTok a lot, and I'm watching these videos, these passport boys. Understanding the community, the black community, I understand the men 45, 50, 60. I understand that. You know what? I'm about to go try to find something else. But I don't understand these passport boys that are like 20, 21, 22. You ain't even experienced nothing yet. You just doing it because it's trendy, because these 50-year-old men say, I'm going overseas to find one. I'm tired of, I've been dealing with women for 40 years over here. I'm going to find something else. The 22 and 23-year-olds is leaving the country to go. I'm like, you ain't even experienced nothing here yet. Which confuses me. Like, what are you going over there? You only 27 years old. There's plenty here. I can see if you're 50 and you're tired. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
But you 20-something years old going overseas looking for a woman, and you got 20-year-olds hot in the ass running around here. I don't understand it. I mean,
it's a situation where that's just somebody looking and trying to get what they personally just want. Like I want a Brazilian woman, I'm gonna get me a Brazilian woman. That ain't you looking. You ain't looking for love at 20 years old going over to Brazil. You're not looking for love if you just nah. You don't even know. I mean, they say a man at least. Like I think it was Cyan. Was he the one saying it the other night? He said some real shit. If y'all didn't peep that, y'all need to check out that one from the other night. It had me actually thinking after the show. But he said like real men don't even like mature enough to be in a relationship until they're in their 30s. And I was like, that's some real shit because I was thinking back on my life and speaking through experience where like when I was in my 20s, I was doing the most. Some of y'all know me. I was doing the most. And with it, and doing the music and doing the music and whatnot, you're given the opportunity to do the most. But now I'm 36, going in my 40s. It's like I look back over it, the clubbing and all that. I don't do that. Usually when I go to the club, I'm performing that night. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even drinking when I'm there. So like in a way, the maturity level is like now I feel like, okay, I can settle down. I'm not out chasing women in the clubs and doing all that shit. But but again, you might find that easier with a man in his 30s or than you would somebody in their 20s.
No, I'm definitely more equipped for a relationship in my 30s than I was, especially early 20s. Early 20s, I was in a relationship and we was miserable. Bunch of cheating and nonsense and arguing and fighting. It was ridiculous.
Right. I don't do none of that no more.
Yeah,
if there's an issue or a problem, we can put it out on the table. I'm gonna tell you how I feel. I'm gonna listen to how you feel, and then we're gonna come up with a solution and move on. But what the problem is, I can't speak for all women or none of the women that y'all done been with, but in the relationships that I've been in, they like to argue. They like to have drama, or they feel that if there's not drama or there's not something that they're fighting for, it's not worth it. Like, oh, it ain't worth it if you didn't have to fight for it. No, why can't we just get along? Why can't we get this money together? Let's go see the world. Let's go do some shit. You know what I'm saying? Why do we have to argue? It ain't worth it if we don't fight for it. So you saying if there's not drama or
if we disagree, I like you said, we gonna come up with what we gonna do. I like a course of action at the end of a
right.
What are we going to do so that this does not stay a thing? If this is going to stay a thing, we probably need to go our separate ways. I don't
like this. I had an ex from last year, okay? Before we got together, we talked months and months. I ain't saying no names. If she watching, she know who she is. But we was together. We was together. Before we even got together for months, I told her I don't want no more kids. I'm 36. I got a 14-year-old son. I don't want to start over with diapers and pacifiers and all that shit. Okay? So we get together. 3 months later into the relationship, she's depressed and hurt every day. And I'm like, what's going on? Me being your dude and concerned, something ain't right with you. The vibe is off. What's going on? Oh, I'm just getting older now. And I'm realizing that I never had the daughter that I wanted to have. Now, we both got 14-year-old sons at this point in our relationship. She got a 14-year-old son. I got a 14-year-old son. She's depressed and hurt because she never had the daughter that she wanted. Now, me, for weeks and probably a month or so after that, I'm there with her. It's going to be all right. You're going to feel better. You're going to feel better. At one point, I say to her, listen, I can't continue to keep lying to you, telling you it's going to be all right. It's going to get better. The only way it's going to get better if it's going to be all right, there's two ways. Either we have a kid, which is not going to happen, or you just get over it, which I don't know if that's going to happen. So at the end of the day, the solution is either you get over it or we break up, because this is causing we fought every day about it for like a month and a half, every single day. But you knew 3 months before we even got into the relationship, no more kids coming for me. Soon as I feel that tingle, I'm up out of there. It's not happening this way. I'm cool. We both got 14-year-olds at that. You want to start over? And what if you don't have a girl? It's 2022, but I can't go pay this man to make sure I have a girl. We gonna try again? Hell no. Nah. And we was only together 3 months. We shouldn't even be talking about kids or nothing like that.
And like Jamie said, you told her that from the jump. So you ain't do nothing wrong. There's nothing for you to feel.
I made it 100% clear. There wasn't no, maybe once I'm married, we can talk about it. No, I'm not.
If you are clear with somebody, they come up with a different idea in their head on what you was clear on, that is their fault.
And to be real, my son is very jealous and very protective of me. He will be absolutely pissed if I come to him talking about, yeah, you about to have a little brother and sister. I've asked him throughout the years how he felt about it. And that's another reason why I didn't. No, I don't let my child control me.
Sound like it.
But we got a relationship, me and him. We got a relationship that is, to me, is untouchable. I just recently got custody of him. For those that don't know, it's temporary, but that's a start.
Clap it up.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. You done heard some stories. You done seen it. You done seen it in my eyes. This shit that I done went through. But it's like a situation where, like, I'm cool. I done went through absolute hell for 14 years being involved in this child's life. No, not all women are like that. I'm not a deadbeat dad. I take care of mine. So I feel in a way it was unfair the way that or maybe the hand that I've been dealt. But I played it, I dealt with it, and now things are turning my way. I don't want to start that shit over again. So I made it clear, not no, well, maybe once I'm married, I'll think about it. No. If I wasn't scared of getting clipped, I'll go get clipped.
All right, we appreciate that. I got to add in though what Jamie said with her comment. I'm gonna pull this comment back up. We get a little off topic, but I have to be honest. I always say this, and y'all can check this out on TikTok. I did a video, and I say everybody always say honesty is the best policy. I always say honesty is the best policy until it's time to be honest.
Right.
It sounds good, but when it's time to be honest, it's all downhill.
I just had a conversation with somebody yesterday, man. They asked me, why can I find a good man? And I know the chick for years. And I know why. But I'm like, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to leave this conversation alone. She got mad. Well, say what you want to say. No, because we're probably not ever going to talk again after this.
All right. We about to get out. You gotta give me a second. Appreciate you. Quick one. Tomorrow night, we got new cast member, Antoinette B. If you haven't, she's been on the show a few times. Me and her, we did one with the 50-50 relationships. Let me tell y'all something right now. Tomorrow, Thursday, 8 p.m., Antoinette B is doing the takeover with co-host fashion designer Sierra Montana. They're going to be talking about the controversy in the fashion industry, okay? Fashion, modeling, business relationships, and sisterhood tomorrow at 8 p.m. So y'all stay tuned into the Hit Show podcast. This is going to be probably from now on Thursdays. And then we got the regular show on Sunday. So y'all make sure y'all support the Hit Show podcast, okay? We got different episodes coming up. We got different segments coming up. Make sure y'all hit the Cash App, support the show. Hit Show money sign, Hit Show Podcast LLC. The number one way to support this show is to like, comment, and share on any place you see Hit Show Podcast.
And hit that Cash App.
That's right, hit the Cash App. Yeah, we out here grinding. Appreciate y'all.